All right, guys, good afternoon and welcome back. All right, so in this video now, I want to show us how to tape our neck. Now, before you tape or pipe your neck, you must have made sure you have trimmed your neck edges and make sure that the back is a bit slopey, and then you must have as well trimmed your shoulder area or your armhole, and then you now measure your neck to confirm that the neck circumference you have here is in line with your customer's circumference when you took the measurement. Now, having said that, now you now have to take your bias, your piping, which most of us saw how this bias was folded yesterday. Then, in order to achieve a perfect finishing or a perfect result, now I would suggest you don't have to put your bias in this form, right? Now, because this area will be a bit rough, so what you will do is put it underneath the folding, the one here, underneath the folding, the one there, now to enable you have a nice finishing at this point, right? Then, having known that, now the next thing you will do now is to make sure as well you don't the neckline is being pushed in properly. Don't allow this neckline to be placed at the tip. It should be pushed in to the end where the bias measure folding is. Then, once you have gotten to that stage, now you make sure that it's properly flushed at this edge. Then you pin from that point, and then you arrange your neckline, making sure that you are placing this neckline at the center of the bias folding this way, and then make sure that the flap region is properly pushed in, and then you start from there to stitch. You have to go gradually, right? Don't be in a haste. Pick it one after the other. Now, once you fold, you bend it backwards and then sew at the tip. You make sure that the bias is properly covering the neck region nicely this way, right? Make sure it's properly covering that area that way, and then you sew the tip. Take your time, take it step by step, that way. Take it step by step, right? Then you make sure you start it off from there, and then you stitch all through that way, and then you also make sure you end it nicely here. So the only way you can end it here nicely is to make sure you cut off half an inch extra than the neck circumference at this tip, then fold it inside again, and then make sure that the folding is exact of the neck width there, and then you fold it inwards from this direction, fold this inwards this way, and then tuck it underneath that first folding this way, and then make sure you sew it all through that way. So once you are done doing this now, so the next you will do is to top stitch the tip. You must top stitch the tip. Now, some cases you might decide to leave it at one threading, there is no problem. So you will top stitch the tip here, top stitch the neck tip from here, top stitch the neck tip. Make sure that your stitching is straight enough. Your hand must be straight here. Top stitch the neck tip all through that way. Top stitch the neck tip all through this way, and then the next you will do now is to iron, right, or to press. Cut the threadings very well. Then I want to double thread it again at the middle. It also helps to make the bias or the piping to relax. So you place your machine foot at the center of the bias, and then thread it all through this way, thread it all through this way, thread all through this way, and then when you have gotten to this stage, the next you will do now is to go and iron. So let's go and iron together, so you see how you can press the bias to relax properly on your neck region. All right, so now after you must have piped your neck, now your bias might be looking like a little collar, right? Don't be worried. As long as you cut the bias in a diagonal form and use hemming gum to do it, the ironing will help you to relax this bias in this form. So watch how it's going to be done. So you make sure you bring a white piece of fabric or the same color you are making, right, or cotton lining, however, then place it on the neck region, then sprinkle water or use your steam iron, whichever one. Sprinkle water on top of it this way, and then you make sure you press down the neckline to go flat. You press it down this way, right? You must apply pressure on this. You must apply pressure on this. So you press it down to go down this way, drop the iron on top of it, and then press it down to make sure it's coming down properly. Press it down. So you must drop piece of fabric on top of the neck region. Make sure you drop it on top of the neck region, right, so that it can help you to save the surface of the fabric not to shine. So once you have pressed it down this way, you see how relaxed here it's looking now. So do the same thing on the other region as well. Place it properly this way, and then you also sprinkle water across this way, and then repeat the same pressing. Make sure it's properly ironed. You can place it in a way that your hand will be comfortable in pressing it down properly. So you iron it down from there, you take it down from there. So you make sure you take your time to do this. You iron it properly that way. So as you can see now, the neck is relaxed. So you still need more of touching more of iron on it. So this is how you pipe or tape your neck. So you still place material across again, and then sprinkle water. You iron as much as you can. You iron it as much as you can. You can still make use of your cold iron to retain the heat on it. So you iron as much as you can. You iron it as much as you can. So you take your time, iron all through the neck region. So this is how you can pipe your neck and then iron it properly without having to shine or to burn the surface of the outfit, right? So right here, our neck is nicely piped. So look at how fine it's looking, right? So this is how your neck piping and taping should look like. All right, guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.